Hello, everyone. My name is Nia Ayana Dingle, and I'm a first year Master's of Social Work student at the University of Houston. I also work at the university's Women and Gender Resource Center as a graduate assistant, and today I'm going to be talking to you about an issue near and dear to my heart that so many in the African American community, including myself, struggle with: mental health. At the age of 3 is when trauma first struck me, when I lost my beloved father to the terrorist attacks at the World Trade Center on 9/11, 2001. It was my first encounter with something that would instantly change my world and forever change me without me having any way to alter it or control it. And then came my Nana Betty at the age of 7, my great grandma at the age of 12, and my beloved pops due to lung cancer at 14. In the course of a little over a decade, it felt like I had endured enough loss and grief to last me a lifetime. Piled on top of this was the teenage growing pains, countless microaggressions I suffered from growing up in a predominantly white suburban neighborhood outside of DC, all while facing this extreme academic rigor and feeling this desire and need to excel and achieve at such a high rate. It wasn't until I was 18 that I finally got the help and began the mental health journey I attribute in some ways to keeping me here long enough to be speaking to you all today and achieving goals and dreams that a suicidal, depressed, and anxious 13-year-old version of myself couldn't even imagine. So, why did it take me so long to get help? How come I felt ashamed for feeling different but being too scared to speak? These are the things I now understand to be attributed to being a product of my community's history and stigma with mental health. And I'm not alone in this, because via the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office on Minority Health, in 2019, suicide was the second leading cause of death for African Americans ages 15 through 24. Most recently, taking the lives of Ian Alexander Jr., son of actress Regina King, and former Miss USA Chesley Christ. Now, the death rate of African American men was also 4 times higher than that of African American women in 2018 due to mental health issues. And poverty does impact mental health status negatively. Black females, grades 9 through 12, were 60% more likely to attempt suicide in 2019 compared to non-Hispanic white peers also. So what can we do? We need to start destigmatizing mental health in our community. Let's talk about it. It's not something that we should be ashamed of, because as you've seen per the statistics and my own story, it is something that is very prevalent in our community as well as many others. Next, we can practice regular self-care. Self-care comes in many forms, and it is something that can be an emotional, physical, spiritual, social, practical, and mental type of healing. Examples of this can be meditating, eating clean, and playing even a video game. So what does this mean? It means that this is something that we can do every single day. Next, we need to stop gaslighting ourselves and therefore our feelings. There's no need to discredit how you feel. And that is something that we need to start learning and working on. Another thing that we can do is be supportive. Even if you feel like you don't struggle with mental health issues personally, that doesn't mean that you can't advocate for mental health care or be an ally to someone in your family, a colleague, a friend who you see suffering from mental health issues. Lastly, and most importantly, we need to start asking for help and seeking assistance through therapy, support groups, friends and family, even a mentor. For me, this was a huge factor. I struggle with asking for help. But if I didn't ask for help, I wouldn't be where I am today. So what I now know is there is nothing wrong with being different. And there are more individuals who are like me, who are highly functioning, even with a mental health diagnosis, than I even knew about. That being said, you are not alone. And the sooner we break down the shackles of mental health stigmas in the African American community, the stronger, healthier, and more happy our lives will be, because we will finally be thriving instead of just surviving. Thank you so much, and have a great day.